Hi everyone, it's Lara. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video I'm going to show you how I made my new gym outfit. I made myself a crop top, this is the one I'm wearing right now, and a high-waist leggings. I like making my own gym outfits because, first of all, then I have something special, something not everyone else is wearing, and second, they fit much better. I'm quite tall and very often I have the problem that all the leggings I find end above my ankles and I don't like that. I have used a sugar skull print jersey, but you can use any jersey you like with or without print. And of course I'm going to show you how I created my own personal pattern and how I made those pieces. So if you want to know how I have done that, then please keep watching. This is how I created my pattern. I took leggings that fit me quite well. They are not long enough, so I had to account for that fact, but other than that they're fine. So I found the middle here, I folded them so that I have the back part here and there is still a little piece that goes inwards, so I have to account for that too. And then I basically copied the pattern, made it a bit longer, and here you can see that I added a little extra for the part that is still inwards. So that would be the back part of my leggings. Then I turned them around, found the middle, and folded them like that, and this would be the front part, which I basically copied the same way. I made the waist a little bit higher because my leggings are supposed to be high waist, and I also accounted for some extra fabric on the bottom. And now there are two possibilities how to use the pattern. Either you want to have a seam on your side, so you would use those two pieces of a pattern and you would add on both sides seam allowance, or just like I'm gonna do now, I want to have my leggings without a seam on the side. I'm just gonna put the pattern together in the middle, and that way I will have one piece pattern for each leg without a seam in the middle. So this is the basic idea of my pattern. I also made a waistband because I want to have them extra high, but you could also only fold here the upper part and sew in an elastic band. That would be another option. The crop top is probably the easiest part. I used a tank top pattern I had at home, and as you can see I basically just made the shirt or the tank top shorter. I measured from the highest point of my shoulder till a few inches underneath my breasts, and I figured out that would be the perfect length, so that you have to measure on yourself. And this is what I've used as a pattern for my crop top.
First I started working on my crop top. I put the two pieces together, the sugar skull print sides facing each other, and I pinned them together with pins at right angles. Once it was done, it looked like this. I have sewn the pieces together with an elastic stitch. And once the pieces were sewn on the shoulders and on the sides, I cut back any excess fabric. As a next step, I folded the bottom part inwards a little bit more than 1 inch and I pinned it in place. Whenever I'm folding fabric while sewing, I always like checking every now and then if I folded everywhere the exact same amount of fabric. Next, I started pinning elastic lace around my neckline. Once I came to the end, I had to account for seam allowance because I wanted to sew the elastic lace together first and then pin the rest to the neckline, but you will see that exactly. It's probably easier to see that than just to hear me explaining that. Here is what the end of the elastic looked like once I pinned the ends together. The next step was to fold the fabric around my armholes inwards. I think it was a little bit less than an inch, it was probably about half an inch. Here is how everything looked like before I went back to my sewing machine. As a first step, I have sewn the ends of my lace together, and then I could pin this loose end to the neckline. And then I was ready to sew the elastic lace on my top. I have used the same elastic stitch that I used for the rest of the top when I was sewing the main pieces together. When I finished this step, I removed all the pins around my neckline. And then I folded the lace inwards and I pinned it in place. And then it looked like this. I set my machine to elastic zigzag and then I could sew the lace in place. I used the same stitch for sewing around my armholes. And I have also used the elastic zigzag for sewing through the folded bottom part of my tank top. So, and these were the final steps, and my crop top was done. Let's move on to the leggings. You have already seen how I created the pattern, so the first step was, of course, to cut the fabric according to my pattern. In addition to the main pieces for my leggings, I prepared also a rectangular piece for the waistband. My waistband is 28 inches long and 5 inches wide. This is how the leggings parts looked like. The first step was to pin the short sides of the leggings together. Once that was ready, I went to my sewing machine and I have sewn those pieces together with the same elastic stitch that I have also used for my crop top. And then, of course, I cut back any excess fabric in the middle. This is how it looked like once I was done. Well, and then I pinned the long sides of my leggings together. I kept my pins at right angles so that I can leave them in while sewing. You have probably already guessed that I have used also the elastic stitch on the long sides of my leggings. If you did, then you were right. And of course, no surprise there, I also cut back any excess fabric once I was done. I have also used this elastic stitch for sewing the ends of my waistband. Then I pinned the waistband in place and again, using the elastic stitch, I have sewn it in place. I also measured the necessary amount of an elastic for my waistband. I have sewn the ends together, then I put it inside of my waistband and pinned it in place. I used quite a few pins because what I wanted was that the fabric would really stay in place, and for sewing through I have used the elastic zigzag. Once I was done with those steps, I put my leggings on just to check the length. I figured out that I needed to cut back a little bit on the bottom, and then I simply folded the fabric inwards. It was about an inch, maybe a little bit more, and as usual I kept my pins at right angles. Here is what the bottom parts looked like once everything was pinned in place. And then I used again the elastic zigzag, and I have sewn through on the bottom parts as well. And that was also the very last step, and my leggings were done. I'll be wearing this outfit for my dance class, for my stretching class, for yoga, and also at home whenever I exercise.
Creating a pattern like that for leggings and for a tank top is definitely a great thing for your future projects, because you can make several variations. You can make a bit shorter leggings like pedal pusher length, or you can make yourself a bit longer top instead of a crop top, so definitely something nice to have. And there's also one thing I wanted to talk about, one more thing, which is the elastic band that I have used for my waistband. It is an elastic band. I think they call it something like the underwear elastic band, which is made of more kind of like stripes. And I find that this one adjusts much better to my body, and it doesn't cut into the skin, and it's just so much softer and nicer. So if you're looking for a great elastic band and there is some store with sewing supplies, definitely ask them about this one. Yeah. And that's it for today. I'm definitely gonna make myself more gym outfits like this. Probably one without a pattern, and probably one more with the sugar skulls, but probably in a different color. And once I do that, I will definitely post the photos on Instagram. So if you like today's video, don't forget to give it a thumb up. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any future videos. Just hit the button above me or just visit the description box. There is a link for subscribing. I have listed also several playlists in the description box that might be interesting for you, especially if you're new. Then you can see what projects I have done in the past. And you can also visit me on Instagram. Link is also in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time with my next video. Bye!